Well, here we are, the Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Shaddaa, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot. Yeah, some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers, so others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy. It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in, or find you once you arrive. Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice. It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutta's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me. We're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years. Shouldn't be too hard. There's so much traffic on Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in. I've plotted a course for the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's gonna find us here.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Shaddaa. While she walks upon the smuggler's moon, she is not to be harmed. Observe her, track her, but do not eclipse her movements, or I shall eclipse yours. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Dawachosimu poindorakawa ichirendumu mo para makawa na abawasi. Yukroren man mapusiti nolara.
Honto no saka, jita bedwana maticha, kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupaнаret atamakcha.
Taranamo sibu and dasarans, crema sunkun ratungala, chawi mo jubu and kosoracha. Bo mababe want to susin to mukarata. Tu aspecto natada ber mabab chokto. Torenibo inturata sisi me burokra.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
Kavadumpe masuraku, popagi botenya, tachimurosa kamsa, javascorbo sector, which is Sakara Muxa, Muchitosa sa grandeyo. Kichunokada momento. Renfiloso ni hekuchupa naret atamakcha. Dahupo boteño go jucho picha. Gwentaba ni sochu. Norotoga protolala shishi. Jubadosa jibacha. Ratakmansan. Tokosha nachitolo.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Doveri nincha, yonona shitasa chuch. Doveri nincha, yonona shitasa chuch. Gole rosodish. Ranta kras mobas.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours. Yeah, in all its glory. Don't get your hopes up from what you see here, though. As soon as we hit the main sector, that's when the smell and the mobs can get pretty bad. No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing. The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of. Sure, most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be all right. I think. Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system. Alright then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions. It makes detection difficult, but this moon does not get any smaller while we wait. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible. Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad! No, really? Thanks for the insight. And here I was, thinking you were a smart human. I got another ship coming in, and unless you want that piece of junk's hull crushed flat, you better move it. Got it? Yeah? Well, this is the first I've heard of it. Hutts don't do business down there. This is exchange territory. You call the shots. This is gonna be trouble. I can feel it.
No! Look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in.
Time to eat. Even the odds.
Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure. Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his profits by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force. We're only good to him as slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately. You don't. He comes to you. If he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing. Whatever your reasons, thanks.
Spare a few credits, friend. All right. I don't know much beyond the refugee sector here, but I can share what I know. No, should I? He doesn't sound like a Hutt. What, is he a bounty hunter or an exchange boss? This sector's filled with refugees from the Shaddaa Civil War, and even as far back as the Mandalorian Wars, refugees and war veterans both, and anyone else who was rendered homeless by the war. The Shaddaa destroyed planets across the galaxy, and here's where the wreckage ended up. That's two names for one thing. It's difficult to tell in the crossfire, and the Sith were led by Jedi. In the end, it didn't make much difference. A lot of space lanes cross at Nar Shaddaa, and once here, it's hard to move on. Even fighter pilots from the war can't get work at the docks. The freighter crews are full up. There's no work here and no way out, unless you want to become a hired muscle for the Exchange, or work in a Hutt slave camp. Friend, you did promise some credits in exchange for information. Look, one other thing. It's obvious you're new around here. I can tell it just by looking at you. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place, and easy to get lost in. If you want, I can keep an ear out for you. Let you know if I hear anything. I'll do that then. I'll come seek you out if I hear anything I think you might want to know.
I saw what you did to those exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need? Thank you, stranger. I won't forget your kindness.
Why did you do such a thing? Such kindnesses will mean nothing. His path is set. Giving him what he has not earned is like pouring sand into his hands. what if by surviving another day he brings a greater darkness upon another? The Force binds all things. The slightest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. Even an act of kindness may have more severe repercussions than you know or can see. By giving him something he has not earned, perhaps all you have helped him become is a target. Seeing another elevated often brings the eyes of others who suffer. And perhaps in the end, all you have wrought is more pain. And that is my lesson to you. Be careful of charity and kindness, lest you do more harm with open hands than with a clenched fist. Good. Mind what I have said. Use your power, but in its proper place.
And what did she want?
Not much. Just answers to some questions.
Really? Interesting.
Haven't heard anything more yet. I'll come seek you out if I do.
Gerekana cemete bengaru gut. Teriwana jun konata de. Charanana gundoso.
Big Ears here might know someone who can change the Evan Hawk's ID signature. Could be useful for avoiding notice.
Deru interunto wakore kwe wapgerebu. Nenso telepathian kosodaranane gra delonuta chul. Charanana gundoso remina che lo raktu kuro katada. Fiora tora pada no ringa tel camarada telefibu nubu debka. Teriwana jun konata della gunotuna. Teriwana jun konata de. Ona jun sense. Gerekana cemete. Deru interunto wak. Teriwana jun kon. Charanana gundo.
Big Ears here might.
Teriwana jun konata. Chiedere cada cemenza bengaru kutudo und der intro to wakare ko wa kere bu henso telepathian ko sadar ne gra tere wana jung ko nata della kuno tu chiedere cada cemenza der intro to wakare ko wa kere bu henso telepathian ko sadar ne tere wana jung ko nata della kuno tuna.
Sulstan's hearing's pretty sharp, if you couldn't guess from the lobes.
But
Hey, I saw the ship you flew in on. My ship. It's the Edmund Hawk, isn't it? She was stolen from me during a routine run in the Mid-Rim, near the close of the Mandalorian Wars. We'll see about that. Watch yourself. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place.
Let me shoot him in the back. No one has to know.
Grazie, ubaci compa la musca. Na Nora hagwa busca, yokolo alla bacca.
Dawachosimu point Dorakawa Ichirendu Mopara Dawachosimu point Bomababe want to susitu mukarata to esfrectonatada per maba chokto Toreni Bomababe want to susitu mukarata to esfrectonatada per maba chok Teranamosibu and Nasarans Dawachosimu point Dorakawa Teranamosibu and Nas
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you. It is Nar Shaddaa, the true Nar Shaddaa that you feel around you. It is this moon, with the metal and machines stripped away and the currents of the Force laid bare. I'm surprised you can feel it. I fear the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions. What you feel is the echo of the minds of these creatures within the Force. Their anger, their greed, their desperation. It is life. One might as well heal the universe, but such manipulation is possible, yes. It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intended destination. Have you learned nothing? Healing is manipulation, and if you do not realize it yet, then you will discover that an act of healing depends largely on your perspective. Manipulation is done through propelling events or selected ones into motion. It is done through teaching, through example, and through conviction. And the greatest of victories are not manipulations at all, but simply awakening others to the truth of what you believe, of hearing it echoed around you in life. But let us be silent. Words and thoughts are distractions. Feel this moment for as long as it will last.
Tono tucha, tocha ramakaka musran kana.
Febko Mariam Gawa. Donos Imaragith. Wanarakora ci drunka sa inchobins. Donos Imaragith. Wanarakora ci drunka sa inchobin sasha. Tosimana rachata. Donos Imaragith. Wanarakora ci drunka sa incho. Loka kamaranendo soran wino chabi. Durantam. Donos Imaragith. Wanarakora ci drunka sa incho. Loka kamaranendo soran wino chabi. Durantaman na sobu. Donos Imaragith. Wanarakora ci drunka sa inchobin. Ranamo sibu and dasarans. Krema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo jubu kosoracha. Donos Imaragith. Loka kamaranendo soran wino chabi. Durantaman na sobu.
Bota su.
Taraciomo sincho kava volpa muledi kumananinta barawam kawana bota yuta tanga kinamatura mutta chiwita inka kikraya na dovre kun mwili wosa slima po wangasa kawana bota yuta tanga kinamatura tayaita taposananansata Chone mullera, tonkinge banno jansaka nikaraska. Tancha ke chubo grayo bog no kadai. Tawancha morichiwa, mufalawa ni bobo wishyo. Monta chiwita inka kikrai. Ta come tag, playa justing, Mikigong go biast. Kun grabi la king no mulara kichi. Tong hite mo si jotia yung kawana bota yung tatangga kina. Tong hite mo si Bonsocho di lo wakwage bugra bugra. Kawana bota yung tatangga kinamatura. Tayaita tapusan na ansata. Kawana bota yung tatangga kinamatura. Tayaita tapusan na ansata.
Watadrito chimulira. Nicho tantanau.
Kawana bota yung tatangga kinamatura. Tayaita tapusan na ansata. Ento mesmi paju. Watamincha yokolondo ado nukulabira wa. Tines un soto.
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya tachimurota kamsa javaskobo sabjo rijisa. Kavadumpe mas Herinoto
Hikaris Makoki. Manamat.
Kavadumpe ma Herinoto
Chita. Kobane wa mayoyo gobrakinun chuba.
Oh, looks like the Jedi raised their standards. Hanhar. I thought I smelled something. I've told you before, hunt your own targets. Don't scavenge mine. What, working for the Hutt suddenly made you stupider, Hanhar? You touch me, you'll break the truce, and then you won't last long enough to slip off this moon. Don't, Hanhar. I'm warning you. I don't want your life dead, Hanhar. I told you. Yeah, you're right. I'm afraid. I'm afraid if you keep crushing me, I'll accidentally set off my rocket charges and blow us both to Nal Hutta. I'd rather die than be caught by you again, Hanhar.
Something up?
Baboska dwana ji. Gavadumpa munsuru kupla. Kawana bota.
Not a very good idea. Entering a Mandalorian's room uninvited. Why don't you back up to the point where you were standing outside the door and rethink your decision? There are a few of us in the galaxy. Now, what do you want? Enjoy yourself.
Coba mas, disungkop coba pinca cimba.
I don't know who you are, but you picked the wrong room to break into. No harm done. For a minute, I thought you might have been someone else. My wife, Ada. There's a chance she may be here on Nar Shaddaa. A lot of refugees ended up here after the Jedi Civil War. I came here to see if I could track her down. Thing is, I can't get into the refugee sector. And even if I could, I'm not sure I could find her. I've been here for weeks, hoping to see her face. All I've done is watch my credits burn away to nothing. Any chance you've heard? We'll see about that.
What? What just happened? 1 minute we're just talking and then I just lost control. It's like this impulse just came over me. I couldn't stop myself. Next time, warn me. If you're out to kill someone, don't surprise me like that.
Any chance you've heard some word of my wife? What? No. No, there still may be a chance of... What? I always feared that was what happened. At least now I know. It's strange you came by when you did. I was right at the edge of deciding whether to give up, turning it over in my mind, and suddenly you walked through the door and gave me the answer I needed to hear. I'll remember that. Thanks again, stranger. Thanks again, stranger. I won't forget what you've done for me. Any chance you've heard some word?
Bograsyong konti chaum, king lorta aitha kun, aitha patisa tong tiakun batot kaun, chona choba. Tapi chayu bong, jijiskapule, chunbule, watagatuk, jimula. Chupayo bong laboraturong, anti-chimate, muleran yun chuba. Nihung kagratuk, jimut malayabist wet wata. Chichi, naudung chong yomabala yuman. Yomawama mi boba, lorda wishwanga shachi. Nihung kagratuk, jimut malayabist wet wata. Chichi, naudung chong yomabala yuman. Chopiti man punjame. Sashange bedwana mulera, chupawanga kuna konticha, chuna konasa. Chopiti man punjame. Sashange bedwana mulera, chupawanga kuna konticha, chuna konasa.
Please, look, I already paid the exchange what I have. But oh, look! Here's the one with your credits. About time. Look, these gentlemen are getting impatient. Are you crazy? That was exchange muscle. When they hear about this, they'll come back a dozen strong and tear you limb from limb. All right. What'd you want to know? Jedi Master? You crazy? There aren't any more Jedi running around, let alone Masters. But you're serious, aren't you? All right, well, look. If I were a Jedi, I'd be where I could help people. As for where that happens on Nar Shaddaa, I have no idea. The bounty hunters don't have any one place where they stick around. Best thing I can tell you is if you want to find one, get a bounty on your head and then wait. Are you serious? All right. I must be doing something right for you to come along and bail me out like you did.
Guess the Jedi Code is still alive and well. There's a lot of people who need help in the galaxy. If we stop to help each one, the Sith are gonna be on us faster than anything. Let's just accomplish our mission first, then worry about everyone else.
Sarda chonilo tabe duana mataka daga prota gocha. Nishasa Jurun Maba Kodu Soto Mekoga Machitu Pachama Chalawaba Dona Sinto Norakipa. Tonoranga mana. Dawa Josimu Poindo Raka. Loka Kamaranendo.